completed it, and that day, the fear of water was broken over my life completely. What is the offshoot of that? Not only am I fishing water, my children also got the confidence. All my kids can swim perfectly. So, a whole lineage of fear of water was broken by someone who says, I'm going to confront that fear. And that's what you need to do to your fears. I remember one day, I got to speak for a company, and they put me in this guest house, and when I got to the guest house at night, when I arrived in the town, got to the guest house, it was about 10 p.m., and there was this ferocious dog that ran alongside the car as I got into this guest house. And I had made a mental note. I said, it would be really terrible to meet this dog if you're not in a car. So I checked in. Following morning, early in the morning, 6 o'clock, I'm going for a walk. On my way back, as I approach the guest house, I just hear a growl. And I look in front of me, and I see this ferocious dog that I had seen the night before. Only that this time, all its teeth were out like it was posing for a close-up commercial. And it's growling at me. So I stop. I look for a tree that I could climb or something. There was nothing. It's just me and the dog. So I take a step backwards, and the dog comes towards me. I take another step backwards, and it takes like 2 steps towards me, and it's growling. And as I take another step backward, there's a root or something there, I trip. And in an attempt to gain my balance back, I have to take 2 steps forward. And when I take those 2 steps forward, the dog takes the step backwards. And I thought, this isn't happening. Did I just see what I think I saw? So I took another step forward. Then the dog took a step backwards. And I said, well, let me just confirm this one more. So I took 2 steps forward. And the dog took a few steps back. I knew I had it. So what did I do? I opened my mouth like it had done to me, and I released a long growl. And I ran towards it. And as I ran towards it, that dog turned around and took off. And I began to chase it until I went back to my guest house. I learned a valuable lesson, same kind of lesson I learned from swimming, that the best way to deal with your fear is to confront it. So what is your greatest fear today? How are you going to deal with it? You need to confront it. You have to get to what I call the tipping point. I got to a tipping point when I realized I've been living my life on the terms of others, because that's exactly what you do when you are motivated by fear. I did not take certain steps I wanted to take because I was scared of being rejected. I did not want to fail because as I was scared of what people would say. And so I lived on the cautious lane. and did not do a lot of things that I really wanted to do. And because I lived on this cautious lane, my life was confined to the same form. And I never went across to greater forms. And the cycle went on. I had two people living inside me. The one who appeared to be very nice, who liked to please everybody publicly, but got home and was bitter, resentful. And then there is the one that was adventurous and bold, who would come out occasionally and say something and do something that he really wanted to do, but suppressed it because of what people would say. He would feel so good, but to quickly sneak back into the traditional form before he got caught. Maybe that's you. You even wear clothes you don't like simply because it's the fashion. I could not express thoughts different from the masses because I wanted to be accepted. Friends, if you spend all your time trying to impress people, you will get to the end of your life and discover that you merely passed through the earth. You never lived your life. I can only imagine the number of people in this position today. I knew there was more to me than the world had seen. But I was confined to my little cocoon. And it did not help matters that around me were small-brained people who felt that the little cocoon was a massive palace. Beware of little-brained people who make you think that your cocoon is a palace. It compounded matters. I thought, wow, I must really have something going. You need visionary people around you. You need straight shooters who call a spade, not an agricultural implement. And I got to that point where I had to confront my fears. I deleted all the small-brained people from my contact list and from my memory and from my circles. I developed my personal guiding mantra, which is, the world is my stage, the Lord my audience. As long as my audience is happy, I really don't care what the stage